man, what's the deal, man? What's the deal, man? Still Mills checking back in with y'all, man. Yo, I wanted to talk. I wanted to get y'all opinions on this, man. Is Canelo just beating up on Euro bums, as they so eloquently put it? Well, I mean, he has an extensive history of beating up a lot of cats in Europe, from the Haddons to both of the Smith brothers, Rocky Fielding. You know, he done crashed quite a few dudes from Europe. But I think what people are failing to realize is Europe produces a lot of quality boxers. I don't think Callum Smith was the best 68 pounder. He was the most accomplished, but I don't think he was the best. I really don't. But let's not sit here and act like the dude isn't a quality fighter and a champion in that, well, an ex-champion in that division. I think it's a little, it's goofy and dismissive to say that all he fights is Euro bums or whatever, or he hasn't fought a black athletic fighter in their prime that's undefeated. It's all these stipulations for Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Just for him to, to justify him fighting a Jamal Charlo or Demetrius Andrade or something like that. I don't think that the likes of a Billy Joe Saunders is Euro trash whatsoever. That dude is a beast. That dude is nice. I mean, he most definitely has his lackadaisical performances. I can't remember the dude he fought before he fought Murray, where it took him 11 to get him out of there. And it looked like you could argue that he was losing that fight. I can't remember that dude's name. Was he from Argentina? I won't even try. He was a Latin dude. And he got him up out of there. But, he looked pretty lethargic, like, nah, this ain't it. So, when you look at, Billy Joe Saunders and Callum Smith and Rocky Fielding and all these other cats that he's beat over from Europe, those are quality fighters, man. Like even, Liam Smith. Was he the best? No. Is he a quality fighter? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think these narratives just they come and they get directed at Canelo because they want him to fight Jamal Charlo, which that's understandable. Everybody that's a really good fight. I don't think it's as great as people are saying, because I think I may have said this before to y'all. I think they see something in Jamal Charlo that I don't see. I think they see a dude that's a legitimate extinction level event threat for the likes of a Canelo Alvarez, and I don't see that. I don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Even when you look at a cat like Golovkin doesn't have a lot of special effects to him, like Floyd said, but it's just certain. His jab was undeniable. His footwork and his ability to cut off the ring is undeniable, and the pressure that he puts on you. And it's not even pressure. It's like a bigger Earl Spence. It's not like he's pressuring you to get all up in your chest. He's pressuring you from mid distance and breaking you down from mid distance. So with Golovkin was a bit more of a step up than the likes of, not even a bit more, a lot more of a step up than the likes of a Jamal Charlo. Because I mean, Golovkin was knocking niggas the fuck out, just completely deteriorating an opponent off of the jab. And it was a steady jab. It was a well-timed jab. Watching him, how he destroyed David Lemieux off the jab alone. Off the jab alone. That man's hair he had a whole new hairstyle after they got out of the ring. So I think him and Canelo was a great fight. I don't think Charlo brings that dimension to Canelo, because I don't think he pumps his jab as much. He doesn't pump his jab as much. And I think he's pretty hittable. He's a lot more hittable than Golovkin. But Golovkin doesn't have the best defense neither. But it's just, you don't want to fuck around and get caught up in an exchange with Golovkin. You don't want to get caught up in an exchange with Charlo neither. But Golovkin is a little bit more. I think Golovkin is more heavy-handed than Charlo. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. He's most definitely more heavy-handed than Charlo. And his jab, like Golovkin's his biggest asset is his jab, and it's not a lazy jab. There's no fight that Golovkin is in where he's not utilizing off and working off the jab. So, oh shit, oh, I'm on the road, y'all. Hold on, let me check my GPS. Alright, yeah, we good, but yeah, man. I don't think it's right that, oh man, all he's fighting is Euro bums and this and that and the third. I think that's bullshit, man. I think the dude is fighting quality opponents, undefeated opponents, and champions. Rocky Fielding most definitely was a cherry. You know, that's undeniable. I can no longer defend that. But his first fight at 68, you know, let me go up here and get a lighter touch, and in the process, get a strap. Yeah, it's understandable. I get it. I get it. He was the same. Was he the same height? Is he the same height as? I think he was the same. I think he's the same height as Callum Smith. So let me see how I'm able to deal with height and gauge somewhat how I can deal with the power up there. Let me gauge it. He's not the biggest puncher in the division, but you 168 pounds and you 6'3". Yeah, he's gonna feel that. So let me somewhat go up here and gauge him. Let me gauge this, you know, let me see how, all right, man, is it easier to get to my spots? Is my reflexes still intact up here? Is my power translating to the higher divisions? You know, just a multitude of things, man. So it was understandable why he went up there and chased after a Callum Smith. I think just the Canelo Alvarez detractors are expecting him to go. I mean, who else would you? When you look at Andre Ward didn't just jump up to 175 pounds and go after Kovalev. He fought Sullivan Barrera, and I can't remember the other dude that he fought, but he had two fights before he went up there and tackled the big dog. Why is it that Canelo has to go up straight to a higher division and go after a David Benavidez or not Callum Smith, but a Caleb Plant? Why does he have to do that? That's fucked up. You know, it's just this goofy shit that I'll be talking about, man. You know, and just why does he have to fight a Jamal Charlo and a Demetrius Andrade, man? It's all, well, he ain't fought no undefeated athletic black fighter. Like, and then, you know, they're using that to completely shit on Danny Jacobs. And I'm like, what was Danny Jacobs? Danny Jacobs ain't had no chance. Like, man, what is wrong with y'all dudes out there, man? Like, y'all dudes is a trip. Danny Jacobs is an incredible boxer, bro. So I think the narrative that he only fights Euro bums or people who aren't at their best, or just what, you know, the same. He's starting to get the same vitriol that Floyd got. That's how you know you're on top of the game. That's how you know you're running shit. You dig what I'm saying? Now he's ducking. You're like, man, that dude ain't ducking nobody, man. I don't see anybody. There's nobody out there who can bring a problem to him that he hasn't dealt with before. So how's he ducking? I just think these dudes are a trip when it comes to the shit that they say, man. And when I mean, Europe has an extensive history, an extensive boxing history. It has been some incredible fighters to come out of Europe. Incredible. So I think it's really disingenuous when we say, oh man, he ain't fighting nobody with Euro bums. It's like, bro, like, it's like dude can't win for losing, man. Billy Joe Saunders is not a Euro bum. He's not. He has a really credible resume. Really extremely credible. The best resume at 168 pounds. Everybody want to talk about David Benavidez and all that shit, and he dunking David Benavidez and yada, yada, yada. You know, David Benavidez has Jalen Love and Darrell on his resume, which were good wins. They were good wins, but Saunders has more good wins. So I just think it's bogus, man. And you know, now he's ducking David Benavidez. Like, look, man, I think David Benavidez will be a problem eventually, but I don't see him, you know, presenting an issue for Canelo Alvarez. I don't, and not to mention, bro, You know, you got to stay disciplined. I think dude is an animal up there. I think he's a beast. But come on, fam, like, all right, peep game. When Canelo fought Callum Smith, they were mad at him for, all right, Callum Smith only got that fight on, what, a month's notice, 3 weeks notice, or whatever the case may be. And I'm like this, so did Canelo. The difference is discipline and who stays active in the gym. Who's not going, who's not ballooning up in weight to a point where you're spending a whole entire training camp on losing that weight instead of implementing a game plan. That's the difference. That is the difference. Canelo was consistently posting footage of him in the gym. That footage he posted of Frank Sanchez was, I know it was long before they announced that Callum Smith fight. So it's like he's staying in the gym, he's staying healthy, he's staying active, even when he doesn't have a fight. He's in the gym and he's training. Take a week off, all right, cool, now it's time to clock in and go back to work. He's, you know, his dieting is still on point. Everything about him, that he's disciplined. He's a disciplined fighter. Why can't other fighters do the same thing so when they get that call, they can just, all right, cool, now it's showtime? Why is that? Why is that? So when you look at a cat like David Benavidez, man, you know, it's like, Golovkin's another dude who stayed disciplined. Abel Sanchez talked about this, I can't remember what, I think it was the Danny Jacobs fight. He had no problem with Golovkin making weight, so they would just go and pick out at all the Mexican spots up there in Big Bear. They was always eating. He was like, he makes weight. He's disciplined. He comes to the gym and he works his ass off in the gym. And he doesn't eat it, he doesn't take in as much to a point where his weight is like, oh, yo, man, Golovkin look kind of soft at the, you know what I'm saying, in the midsection. David Benavidez has to get to a point where he's at that, all right, cool, man. Everybody loves to eat. Everybody like, man, I love to eat. I love it. But I'm also not a professional fighter. And I'm still trying to come down. I got about 15 pounds to lose before I like to walk around about 200 pounds. I'm about 215 right now. I don't like that. But even with that being said and done, I feel a little bit more agile on my feet. You're a professional prize fighter, man. You have to display a certain level of discipline. Even with Floyd, you would see Floyd pulling up to McDonald's. But his work ethic in the gym would nullify that. David Benavidez has to get to that point where he is a disciplined fighter because the talent is there. More so than his brother. And I think Jose is talented as well. But just getting trapped, just, you know, placing yourself on the rope and allowing you to be outworked, I'm like, nah, bro. He's like, you know, he's lost a few fights, in my personal opinion, before Bud crashed him to Mauricio Herrera. I'm like, come on, man, like, dude, get off the rope. But with David Benavidez, I think David Benavidez is, you know, he's a pressure fighter, and I think that's dope. I think that's dope. And, you know, he's a little faster. His combination, he puts combinations together a little bit better. So I'm like, you have to get to a point where you're disciplined, man. You gotta, you know, if you're gonna eat, all right, cool, eat, man, but be disciplined. I'll pig out today, but the next 4 or 5 days I'm going hard in the gym. You gotta get into that mindset. You have to, as a professional fighter. You have to. Dieting and cocaine, you should be far away from that shit. Far away from that shit. You know, this, when I was growing up, if you did it, I never smoked or drank in my life. But I grew up around niggas who did it all the time. Niggas would roll up on the way to class. Like, what type of time y'all niggas on, bruh? But if you did anything outside of smoke or drink, you was a swerve. That's what we call a crackhead in my city. Like, that nigga's a swerve. Swerve ass nigga. So now I'm saying, you know, this fad where niggas is popping pills and snorting cocaine, trying to be living this rock star life. We not rock stars, brethren. So now, you know, that's just for my people. But as far as David Benavidez goes, man, put that shit down, man. Put that shit down. Leave that shit alone, because you're never going to be able to live it down. If you pop dirty, because I got a feeling you're gonna pop dirty again. I hope it doesn't, but I hope it doesn't happen. But I got that feeling it's gonna happen again. You're gonna pop dirty, and you are never. That is going to stain your legacy. It's always going to stain your legacy. Oh, even though PED, oh, you take cocaine, this, you know, shut up. You know, you go snort a line a couple days ago, that shit pop up in your system or whatever. You go, oh, he a cheat, even though you ain't feeling it. You ain't feeling none of the effects of the fucking cocaine when it's fight time. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, shut up. You dig? But discipline, man. Everybody talking about Canelo and he this and that and 30 out. One thing you can't take away from him is his discipline. Dude is in the gym consistently. He trains consistently. Y'all can't take that away from him, man. So when you're presented an opportunity to fight him, because he dictates the terms. Nobody gets to, you get no say. That's the face of the sport. You get no say over Canelo. So when you're in that, when you're in a position that, all right, I could possibly get this fight, even if it isn't a Canelo fight, if you're working towards that goal, you should just automatically be in shape. You should just be in shape. Why is it that, you know, oh man, you complaining about Callum Smith getting a 3-week notice or a month notice or whatever? Canelo got the same time. The difference was the skill set. The skill set, because I mean, can I really say it was a game plan on Callum Smith? I can't really say it was a game. I don't know if I really saw a game. If I can say I really saw a game plan outside of him just tormenting that dude's left arm. Outside of that, so he couldn't use it. But that was an incredible. That was smart, and that shit worked. So I don't think I've seen a game plan out of Canelo going into that fight, but I think he was just that much better than Callum Smith. I do. I think he was just that much better than Callum Smith. But Canelo, nonetheless, he's got the same time to train. The same amount of time to train. Why is that his fault? So as a fighter, I feel like you got to be in a position of where the minute you get that call, you're ready to go. You're in shape. All you need to do is get in the gym, devote 3 weeks, 4 or 5 hour days to implementing the game plan to beat the likes of a Canelo Alvarez. That's what that is. That's what that is. So I don't like the oh, he fights his Euro bums and this and that and the third and yada yada yada. I think that's a really, you know, I think that's extremely dismissive. Because Callum Smith is not a bum. I just don't think he was on Canelo's level. He's not a bum. He damn sure ain't no bum. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know. So yeah, man, that's how I feel about it, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments if y'all watch this video. You know, I really appreciate the feedback. I love it. I went out, you know, a few of my videos got likes on it and comments. I thought that was dope. Like, oh shit, that shit kind of lit, man. Niggas fucking with the kid. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. I most definitely be on the lookout, and I most definitely reply to them, man. And it's most definitely appreciated, man. So still Mills Box, and I'll check back in with y'all later.